Good morning, everyone. Okay, sorry, can you help me switch the... Good morning, everyone. I'm Jason. Yeah, I'm the country manager for the Malaysia region. Yeah, thank you for spending your time joining our media event today. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys ever heard about Synology before. Actually, we are a Taiwanese company. Currently, we got 6 branches available around the world. We got the branch in UK, US, France, and Germany. And for Asia, we got China and Japan. And actually, our product, right, we can cover a wide variety of industry, starting from home use, prosumer, small medium business, and even enterprises. Until today, our solution, right, already covered more than 120 countries. We already got more than 50,000 partners around the world, and we already got more than 12 million servers have been deployed. So when you heard about Synology, right, usually you will say that, oh, Synology is an NAS vendor company, which means hardware companies, right? But to be honest, I don't think so. This is because actually our company, they spend more than 60 to 70% of resources just to develop our software. So you can see, Synology not only provides you the hardware, we also provide you all kinds of solutions that required by the business. For example, of course we are NAS vendor, right? So we provide you a storage for you to keep your data. So to keep your data safe, we got backup solution for you. Other than that, to increase the collaborations between the data and the user, we also got business productivity tools. Yeah. And we not only want to protect your business data, we also want to protect your business assets. So our NAS also can be worked as a surveillance NVR. We also provide you surveillance solutions. So based on our internal record, actually there are already more than 2.5 million collection. They are using our file serving solutions. And we already protect more than 7 million SaaS accounts, and we already protect more than 5,000 sites with our surveillance solutions. So you can see actually, we got a lot of top tier enterprises, they are also using our solutions, like the Shiseido, Lazada, SK Shipping, Audi, yeah, and even Toyotas. Okay. And recently in Malaysia, we received a case study from one of the biggest construction company, Kajima Malaysia. Actually in Malaysia, we also got a lot of enterprises and the government, they are using our solution. But you know, Malaysia usually they like to sign the NDA, non-disclosure agreement, so I cannot share that link to the public. Okay. So actually Synology knows the value of the data. So that's why this is the reason why we spend so much resources to protect your data. So you can see, we got many customers, right? After they using our solution, they are very happy with our solution. And we got, from the Gartner, report from the Gartner, you can see, we got more than 98% of them are willing to further recommend our solutions. So, since the World Backup Day is coming soon, right? So for today, we will be focusing on how Synology can protect your data. Okay. Based on our internal record again, our data protection solution already protect more than 470,000 organizations, as I mentioned just now, 17 million SaaS accounts, as well as 1.7 endpoint devices. And you can see, so however, we all know that the awareness of Malaysia, right, for data protection is actually increased. And more business, they're also willing to spend more money on data security. But still, the ransomware attacks will continue to increase. So you can see a report from a Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI. We can see that the number of the attacks is increased rapidly, especially during the pandemic. Yeah. Only in 2022, the ransomware attack that caused the monetary loss already more than $10 billion US. So in Malaysia, we also can sometimes see some news. Even some enterprises also suffering from the ransomware attacks. Therefore, cybersecurity already has become the major concern in Malaysia, and now, and actually to be honest, a lot of business they increase their budget for the cybersecurity. So, but the problem is, right, you really need to spend the money, right? But is it the strategy that you apply, is it the correct one? Is it, does it truly protect your business data from the ransomware attacks? That's the question. So, again, based on our survey, actually more than 83% of businesses actually got their own, data protection strategies. But when it comes to disaster strikes, there are 25 of them actually cannot perform data recovery. This may be because of they are using maybe their data protection is not complete, or maybe they are using the incorrect strategies. So today we would like to show you how Synology can protect your business data with our Synology solutions. So speaking of data protections, we'll split into 3 different layers of protections. First will be about access and identity management, which means how we protect your user account from unauthorized access. The second thing is about our data security audits, means that how we protect our software from any backdoors. And one last thing is disaster recovery plan. You still need it because just in case any disaster happens on the production side. So let's start with the first layer of protections, the access and identity management. So we all know that the traditional authenticator method is you just key in your username and password, then you can log in your system. Actually, this one is, however, to set a user-friendly password, right, is very hard. Yeah. So for example, if you're using a fixed password, yes, it's very convenient, but actually it's very unsecure. Yeah. Because we don't know when we leak our password out. But if you are choosing a variable password, means that you always change your password. Yeah, I believe some of you sometimes forget the password, right? So it's very hard to manage. So actually this is a very big challenge for the IT manager. So to solve this issue, Synology got a solution for you. Introducing our secure sign applications. It's a integrated identity verification features which can be defined from our operating system. So with our secure sign-in, right, you can either use the approved sign-in or use the feeder to authentication to log in into your account. So let's say I'm going to use the approved sign-in, okay? So all I need to do is you just go into our system, type your user ID, then go to your mobile apps and click the approve button. Okay, let me show you how it works. So this is our operating system. So all you need to do is key in your username. Next, go to your mobile device, then will pop out a notification. Click the approve button, then you can manage to log into your account. So you can see you are the only one who can access your own system. And you also don't need any password. Okay, so since we already got a safe, user-friendly environment, right? Next, I would like to share with you about our data security audits. So actually, for security, right, we got our own PIXR team, which is the Product Security Incident Response teams. So let's say for example, if we already got the attack, right? So we receive the report, our team will do the investigation immediately. If there are any firmware vulnerabilities, our team will solve within 24 hours. If you compare with the market, right, usually it will take about 60 days. Okay. So another thing is, actually we also got our red team, in-house red team. So what is in-house red team? Is our security team always attack our own system. Yeah, because their job is to find if there are any bugs inside. So you can see actually we already discovered more than 21% of CV issue within 6 months. So other than from our team, we also got a bounty program. So what is bounty program? We welcome all those hackers to attack our system. So for those who manage to penetrate into our system, we will give them the rewards. Yeah. So you can see, until today, we already award more than $9 million just to keep our software safe. So here you can see another report from CISA, I forget the full name, Cyber Security and Infrastructure Security Agency. These are from the US. So starting from the 2021, Synology has 0 known exploit from the records. And you can see we really care about data. So this is the reason why we spend so much effort just to keep your data safe. Okay, so since we already make sure everything is secure, right? The business still need to have a disaster recovery plan. Why? Let's say if there are any unexpected incidents happening in your office. For example, we don't say it from the outside. We say attacks from the inside. Accidental data deletions. Let's say I accidentally click the delete button, my business data is gone. Or if there are any natural disaster like flood, or if there are any breaks in the production office. So to have a complete set of data protection, we still recommend you to do backups. But backups, they also got a golden rules, which is 3-2-1 backup strategies. Yeah, sounds complicated, right? So we need to keep at least 3 copies of data in 2 different media, and one of the media must be located off-site. Still complicated, right? Let me give you a better picture. Yeah, I split it into 2 layers of protections. The first layer of protection will be endpoint protections, and the second layer is data backup protections. So for endpoint protections, you can have a production backup server on your office. You will backup all your data from your workstation, for example, your PC, your Mac, house servers, or even some of the public clouds like Google Workspace and Microsoft 365. So you can use our NAS as a backup centralized server to backup all your endpoint devices into the NAS. So, just as I mentioned, we also want to avoid any incidents on your production site. So we still recommend you to do another remote backup away from your production office, maybe like data center or clouds. So if anything happened in the production site, even though your hardware is gone, you still actually got all your data back from the remote locations. Yeah. So talking about backups, we will split into 3 different aspects: efficient backups, data integrity, and flexible recovery. So introducing Active Backup for Business is actually one of our backup software that you can use it to back up all your endpoint devices like I mentioned just now: PC, Mac, file server, physical server, virtual machines, Google Workspace, Microsoft 365, yeah, a lot. Yeah. So if you compare with the third-party backup software, right, they usually got one issue. It's the software compatibility issue. For example, I want to backup a virtual machine, I need to find backup software A. I want to backup my cloud, I need to find another backup software. And you not only need to find the software, you also need to worry about compatibility between the software and the hardware, because you want to install the apps, right? So with our Synology solution, as long as you got our Synology NAS, you can use all these backup software. And we do everything for you already. And the second thing is, we also got some backup technology available, which is the incremental and deduplication. Incremental and deduplications. I believe most of you are already familiar with incremental, right? So I introduce you deduplications. So what is deduplication technology? So let's say you back up so many endpoint devices, right? So we will run a data block scanning for all your data to find out if there are any identical data block. For example, let me think. Okay, for example, let's say I got 100 virtual machines to backup. Okay, 100 PC to backup. So actually, when you scan all the data block, right? Actually, the operating system is the same data. So we will just keep 1 copy of data instead of 100 copy of data. So you can see how we help you to save your storage capacity. And this everything will be done at the back end. You don't need to do everything. You just click your backup task and we'll do everything for you. Okay? So next thing is data integrity. So actually this is one of our powerful features for our backup software. Yeah, and this is also what the business look for us. Yeah, because to be honest, the main reason for this, some business, right, they actually perform the backups. But when the disaster strike, they only find out that they cannot do the data recovery. Like just how I mentioned, the 25%. And because they only find out that their backup is actually either incomplete or is corrupted. But with our backup solution, right, as long as after we finish the backup, we will run the backup verification, which means that we take the backup and run at the back of our virtual machine to prove that if your backup is complete. And we even show you a live video or a recorded video to you that to prove that hey, your backup is complete. Now later I will show you how it looks like. Yeah. So you can also take this live video for the security audits. So another thing, one last feature is we also provide you high flexibility for data recovery. First, we support file level recovery. For example, I just want to recover one dedicated file. Yes, you just choose the file and recover. Another thing is we can also perform full data recovery. For example, I got a whole PC, right? suddenly my hard drive is damaged. So I take my PC and repair it. I can restore the whole system back to my previous peace. And one last thing is, another powerful features, we support cross-platform restoration. For example, I already backed up my PC, right? I can restore all my data into a virtual machines. Now we can do the migrations. Okay, to give you a better picture, let me show you how our active backup for business looks like. So first let me access to my NAS. Okay, let me show you another features. Actually, my NAS now is located in Taiwan, my house. So I'm going to perform remote access. So I can going to use the Bitcoin ID to search for my NAS. So I just need to type my NAS ID. It might take a couple of seconds, and because my phone is very slow. So just like I mentioned, right? You mentioned about the quick sign. So all I need to do is just type in my user account, user ID. So go to my mobile apps. My phone. You can see there's a approve button. I need to press. Oh yeah, I can click. Sorry, I think I clicked against the button. So you'll see there's a proof sign will be pop up later. Okay. So I just click the button. You need a Face ID. Then I can log into my system. So you see, I don't need any password at all. So I'm the one who can access to my own system because I only got my phone, right? Okay. So let's go to the active backup for business we mentioned just now. So here you can see I can just use one single software to backup all kinds of environment. I can use to backup another NAS, forget to mention just now. I can backup my own another NAS, PC, Mac, physical server, file server, virtual machine, everything, and for the cloud as well. Okay, so let's say just now I mentioned about the deduplication, right? So here you can see actually I got 1.8 terabyte of data, but with the deduplication technology, it only takes me about 1.1 terabyte. So you see how we can save the storage in our NAS. And the second thing is data integrity, right? So let's say I already finished my backup right here. For example, I got the physical servers. I already run the backup task verifications. So they will generate a video for me. So they will generate a live video. So you can use this video to prove to your security team that actually my backup is valid. Because the Wi-Fi is small. So they will take all your backup, right? Will run at our backend to do what we call as a full restoration for your backups. Because they will have some startup. Let's do it. So you can see, actually my PC, right? I can go into my homepage right now. So you can log into your homepage. Means that actually your backup is valid. So you can also prove it because someone challenge you to say you already backed up. How you prove your backup? So you just show this video to them. For all these purposes. Okay, so next will be about data recovery. So let's say just file level recovery. Oh, sorry, that's another problem. Okay, so here, let's say you want to recovery, right? You can scroll across the timeline and choose the restoration point that you want to recover. Then let's say I want to restore this data. Just choose this data. I either restore to the original location or you can download this file. The next features is about cross-platform restorations. So let's say I got a physical machine, right? I want to restore to a virtual machine. So you just click your backup task, restore, then choose your restoration point. and click next. So you can actually restore to the virtual machine. You can either restore to the VMware or Hyper-V. Yeah, depends on your requirement. Okay, so this is actually how our endpoint backup software works. It's quite easy, I think, quite straightforward. Oh, another thing is, I forgot to mention, regarding this recovery portal, right? The IT admin also can help to reduce their workload. You can actually enable these features for the end user, for the user himself. Of course, the user only can see their own data, so the IT admin can reduce their workload. When you find admin in, how I lost my data, can you help me to recover for me? Actually, the user can recover by himself. Okay. Yeah, so this is actually will provide high flexibility on the data recovery abilities. So back to our slide. Okay. So actually, we got a use case from one of our customers, Shiseido. It's a Japanese company. So they use our active backup for business, the backup software, to back up 500 PC and 500 PC and 55 virtual machines. So they use our incremental features. We help them to save up to 50% of the backup time. Yeah. And another thing is, with our deduplication, we help them save up to 52% of storage capacity. Yeah. And they also even do some, restoration queue. Actually, they can restore the whole virtual machine right within 50 minutes. So they are really satisfied with the performance. So finish with the first layer of backup. Next, we will going to talk about remote backup. Okay. So like we mentioned earlier, we still need a secondary backup just in case any incidents happen on your production office. Yeah, so with our, of course, the NAS backup software also integrated with our NAS. So as long as you got NAS, you can use these features. So you can use our NAS backup software to back up your NAS either to the C2 storage or to the public clouds. Or you can also perform a remote backup to another Synology NAS. So this is a common practice in the enterprises because they are big enough, right? So they got so many branches. So they can perform data protection to each other. I do the data backup to you and you perform backup data to me. Yeah, so I believe won't be like two side together code, right? Yeah. Okay. So in case, let's say your production server is broken or production site is down, actually you still can recover all your data from the remote server. And of course, you still can continue to perform your endpoint backups by performing all the backups into the remote server until your backup server is back. Then you can recover all the services, turn the service back. And again, let me show you how our NAS backup software looks like. Okay, before we start, just I also keep on mentioning ransomware attacks, right? I'm not sure if you guys ever heard about ransomware attacks, or do you guys know how ransomware looks like? Why the organization is so scared of ransomware? No, right? Let me show you how it looks like. For example, actually this is the press release, the articles, like for example, your articles that are going to release soon. It's so important to you that you need to release by tomorrow. Suddenly, you can see it. This is my files. You can see the screen, right? Yeah. So this is the articles, the important data, that are going to release tomorrow. So let's say right now, your computer suffers from the ransomware attacks. So you can see this is my file. So at the back end, the hacker will run some code on your computers. So you can see this is my file, right? So they will run some script on a PC. And your files has been encrypted. Means that you need the code, you only can access your files. You see, I cannot open my documents already. So they will threaten you, you pay me Bitcoin, I only give you the code to encrypt your files. So this is how they threaten the enterprises. Yeah. So luckily, I did the backups before the ransomware attack. So that's why backups is so important. Oh, another thing I want to share with you guys is, actually I met, because I'm sales manager, right? So I met with a lot of customers. They always got confused. Oh, don't worry, I already got one data in my NAS. Sorry. There's some difference between synchronizations and backups. Synchronize means that what the data you got on your PC, and they will synchronize to your NAS, your file server. Means that you got a virus in the PC, you also got a virus in the file server. It's the difference. You know what I mean? Although you got a copy, but they will make into two identical files. But for backups, there will be a recovery point. Means that just like you see, right? You can restore to yesterday or last Friday or something. This is only the real backups. Only you can restore the data backs. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to perform data restoration. So you can see this file, right? Actually, I got hacked. So in my NAS, I also got compromised. Right here. So you see, my file is getting encrypted. Yeah. So now I'm going to perform data recovery. Go to recovery, and click my folder, and click recover. So I'm going to recover to this, and I think this one will be good. It might take a couple seconds to restore. Okay, done. So back to my. So see, I can get my data back. So this is how the data protection protect your data from the ransomware attacks. Yeah, so you see, I can finally pass my homework. Yeah, okay. So another feature is, regarding the NAS backup software, right? I would like to introduce another new features that we released last year, immutable backup. So I can share a use case with you. So usually when the ransomware attacks, right, they will attack your admin account. So if you say, yes, I did run the backups, but if you just run a normal backup, because the hacker already got an admin account, right, they can delete your backup. Yeah, so hacker, when they come into your system, they will do two things. They will check what is the purpose of your system. Okay, if it's a file server, they encrypt everything because they want the money, right? But if they find out that it's a backup server, they sabotage everything. Yeah. And another case in Malaysia, okay, I'm not recommend to do this one. Actually, I saw one case. They got one IT admin, right? They got fired by the company during the pandemic. So before he leave, he got an admin account, right? He do factory reset for the NAS. So everything is gone, no record at all. Even though the company want to sue the people, right? They don't have any trace to track who is the one who sabotaged the servers. Yeah. So to avoid this kind of situation, right? We released a new feature called immutable snapshots. So what is immutable snapshots? Even the admin himself cannot delete the backups. It means that the hacker got the account, right? They also cannot do anything to the backups. Okay, let me show you how it looks like. So back to our backup software. So you can see, actually I did run a lot of backups here, snapshot list. So you can see, actually there's a blue shield here. This is the immutable snapshots. So if you don't use any of these features, actually you see under admin, I can remove my backups. Just delete it, just a few clicks. Yeah. So, sorry. With the immutable backup, right? You see, I cannot remove at all. I don't have the remove options. Even though I perform the factory reset, my data will be still there. So this is how we protect our data, even though from the outside and from the inside. Yeah. And then many companies, I mean like government enterprises, right? They come to us because of these immutable features. Yeah. Usually, I mean, before they encounter anything, right, they weren't aware of this until they encounter like internal attacks. They only find like, hey, actually I also need the immutable features. Okay. So this is how our backup software looks like. To our slide. Sorry. So here we got the use case from Malaysia Kajima. So actually they use our NAS as a file server for their construction site. Sorry. So actually they got a lot of construction sites around the world, around Malaysia, and they use our NAS as a file server. Yeah. So to give additional layer of protection for their file server, they perform remote backup back to their headquarters. But they also scared that anything happened to the headquarters, they also perform another remote backup to the cloud. So in case no matter anything happened on each of the site, they actually still got all the data on their own hand. So here's the summary for today's sessions. So Synology, we can work as a file server for you to keep all your data. So to protect your data, first we got access and identity management. We can protect all your credentials from any unauthorized access. Yeah. And another thing is we got our own security team to keep your data safe. And lastly, in case anything happens, like physically or maybe internally, we still can perform data recovery, disaster data recovery. For information, we mentioned about the access and identity management, right? And not recommend you guys to use the plugins from the Google Chrome because there's another way for hacker to penetrate into your system. For information, because you save all your password, important password right there, right? Some plugins are the fake one. So actually, there's a hacker who designed this software actually. Yeah, for information. Okay? So the best way is you need to use secure sign-in. You don't need to even memorize your password. ID, I think, should be able to memorize, right? Yeah. Okay, so here's some sharing for you guys. Actually, our data protection is quite popular among SMBs, manufacturing, and public sectors, especially the governments. Yeah, actually, our SMBs, right, we already cover more than 70% of the market coverage for information. So, yeah, I think that's all for my presentation today. I hope that I can see your articles before the backup days. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I hope that today's session could help you to have more understanding about our data protections.